Lurker. Another lurker. Who is it? Who are you? Show yourself. I'll be done by the time somebody gets on here. All right, stream's over. What the heck? Did I make this private? Mighty weird. It's working? Okay, well done. I think it's the same size. I got that figured out. Edit. Private, no wonder. I wonder if that'll show up now. Hey, Frank, I've been talking to myself for 4 minutes. Brian, Darius, no shit. I've been sitting here for 4 minutes, and it would show lurkers, but nobody ever said anything. Like it would show one viewer, and then it would disappear. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? Nobody ever said anything for 4 minutes. And then I went to edit, and I realized that the video was private. What do y'all think? I've been seeing some photographs from Bass Mafia, which is now part of whatever they call it. Whatever, something, what's it called, AJ? Outdoors, House of Outdoors or whatever. You Guggen people. I didn't think it looked like a black label, Tyler. I thought it looked like pH. Um, yes, Bobby. I think there is collaborative confusion. It looked like to me. Um, didn't look like a black label. I would agree, John. Looked like a what a dress. People probably get tired of me asking what address to ship to. It's on my PayPal. Okay, what address do you want me to ship to? I need triple verification. Yo, Daniel. Um, uh, so the reason I don't know if that is the products that they'll be releasing, but um, I think there's some confusion on kind of what makes collabs work and what makes them cool. So if you look at Marty and I, Marty's a builder dude, doesn't like painting, not his strong suit. Me, painting is my strong suit. Have a style. Uh, so when you collaborate, you take his bait that looks like his bait with mine, paint, and it makes a different entity, a new thing. Uh, so what it looked like from the Bass Mafia post in Zaldane's post is they took an off the shelf pH and are calling it a collab, which I don't understand. Like everything that they posted was a bait that it looked like I could go buy off the shelf or something pretty similar in the pH lineup, which was odd. I mean, wouldn't that be kind of odd? I mean, that would be like doing a Burns Tacklecraft collab and Burns painting all of them and building them, and then me being like, look what we did. Look at this Tacklecraft collab. I didn't do shit. It's the Burns. Uh, the muted sun faded color is the collab. If they couldn't think of anything better than that, that's pretty pathetic. But whatever. Um, I thought the that see I wouldn't call that a collab, Bobby, the custom shop, because they didn't collaborate with Mimic. Mimic built them. They were Mimic baits, but nowhere did they ever say Mimic anything. They just said these are Strike King custom shop. We're not going to tell you who made them or where they came from. But everybody, when they saw them, knew that they were Mimics, which was cool. But I mean, it would have been a lot cooler if they would have. But that wasn't a thing back then, right? Like everything was like smoke and mirrors. Now these dipshits think, you know, they see all these collabs in shoes and other, industries, and they're like, oh, we're going to do that. But I think they do it all wrong. South Jersey, what's up, dude? You been living under a rock, or have I? Um, the missile collabs are stupid too. I don't get those. Um, uh, I don't know. I think there's South Jersey. You could probably chime in on this. I think the U.S. market could learn a lot from the Japanese companies on how to properly collaborate. I think there's a disconnect here where they don't particularly understand it. Or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's like an understanding or they don't care. They just want to say collab and it's like a buzzword. I think that's probably part of it. Hey, let's do a collab. Yeah, let's get PH to paint us some white baits. Sweet. I think if you're going to do a collab like Bass Mafia and uh, PH, it shouldn't look like a PH when you get it. It should have hints, but for the most part, it should be different. Uh, Favorite was 13 and Horseshoe. Oh, that was dirty, Travis. That was dirty. U.S. companies want to get all the credit for the lure, the bait. Yeah, they. I mean, for the majority, I feel like of all of our lives, that has been how it was. But now you see a few companies trying to branch out and collab, and I still think it's done right. Yeah, JJ was here. Yeah, I think he was trying to tend to some customer service difficulties. I think AJ sent the wrong box to the wrong address. He knows better. If he doesn't, he should. Bass Mafia is a way better collab. They paid for nothing. Uh, well, I just don't think that's how a collab should work. Call me crazy. Call me crazy coming from someone that's in the collab business. I never understood it. Neither of these companies could be capitalizing on making stuff for their smaller creators to bring actual new shit. Most of the new guys. I think South Jersey, part of the problem is they've the it's a big boy mentality. They've never given any credit to anybody smaller, but they'll steal their ideas and they'll suck the life out of any creativity that comes under them and then take all the credit for it. But they still don't want to let anyone know that is where the genesis of a lot of this shit is. Um, Tactical, I don't know what their deal is. What do they have? Swim bait? But yeah, for the longest time, the industry didn't want. Not that the thing about it is it wouldn't affect any of them's bottom line. It's not like they're gonna tell you that so and so exists and they make something really cool because the volume that Strike King or whoever has to, or Berkeley or whatever, the volume that they have to do to keep payroll, whatever some minuscule crumb bait builder is doing in his garage, even if they get a little bump in in their whatever business from collaborating, Berkeley's never going to see it. Um, South Jersey, I think you're going to I think you're going to see that. And I think that's one of the good things about the internet is that now the consumer is not as dumb as everybody was led to believe. Because before, if you were seeing a knockoff or you were seeing something that got ripped off, you were probably reading it in a magazine. Well, now, when the company goes to market that and they blast it on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else, people aren't dumb and they can tell their friends what a ripoff it is. And they can do it in the comments. And everybody that notices that it's a ripoff is going to flame them. Well, they don't want that. So, Tyler, what's up, dude? Yeah, there is AJ, you're definitely right. There is a lot of dumb consumers out there, but I feel like those are mostly the guys that like, you know, buy a couple packs of worms a year and buy like, you know, they go to Walmart a couple times a year and they buy a handful of stuff and then they go about their day. Darius, you had the crud? Quite a few tournament partners that collab. Josh, I have not got my math penciled out yet. I think I'm gonna try and pencil it out. Hell, I've been trying to figure out materials to use. I might have a big order coming up, boys. 1,000 baits. And I got to wrap my head around it. Waiting on an American company to rip off the Tiny Clash. Eesh. Yeah. I mean, it's already kind of been ripped off by selling the knockoff blanks, but I don't know if that counts. Correct, Scott. You heard that right. They are terrible. I got some alternative already did. That's what's missing in the mail. Well, that's not the worst thing that could happen. What did I read? Had to go to the emergency room. Oh no, that's not good. Hope you're better. Hope it wasn't anything serious. Yeah, if somebody does the switchy lip thing, the thing about the switchy lip thing is I think nobody was ballsy enough to do it here because it's a little gimmicky and it took forever to come on. You know what I mean? Like one rather than make one bait that does something really good, make one bait that does like a bunch of stuff pretty good. But I think that was always the mentality here. Why would I sell you one bait that does 8 things when I can sell you 8 baits that do one thing really good or okay? I think they'd rather just sell you 8 baits that do an okay job rather than one bait that does 8 pretty good things. So, and then DRT does it, and it's hugely successful. And I mean, just from my brain, I don't really want. I wouldn't design a bait like that. Everybody's thought about it. Anybody that's designed a bait or made, thought about fishing lures has thought, well, hell, I could make a bill that comes out and then I could turn it into you could change this and make it do this and then make it into a wake bait and then you can put this bill in it. But it just like at the end of the day, it didn't. I would just rather have one thing. Josh is correct. Back in the day, you could get on Tackle Warehouse and DRT was at your fingertips, night or day, 24/7, 7 days a week. You could get all the DRT shit you wanted. And then it was like a light bulb went off. I don't know if they like if they did that or what happened. Um, I don't. I'd like to know where the light switched, because it seems like they went from like blowout, nobody wanted it, nobody got it, to hugely in demand. And they could have been partly responsible for that. I don't know. But something, there was a light switch that flipped, and it seemed like it happened pretty quick. Um, I don't know. DRT on their site is always in stock. Yeah, I guess that's their new deal. I don't know. Been playing with the high float TK on the river and the grass. How about that? I think the whole vid issue did delay the process. Maybe somehow things are getting better to produce like they wanted. Maybe so. Um, Tyler, I haven't even, and as weird as it is, usually you've seen some stuff kind of pop up on the radar, because there's usually a bunch of companies that do these soft openings of like what will be coming at ICAST, and it'll like leak out, a little before. And typically I feel like we've seen some of that shit by now. And we haven't. I don't know that anybody cares. I mean, I'm sure, I mean, you'd probably care if it were cool, but I don't know. I don't know. Traditional baits that show up better on forward facing sonar is what's coming, crankbaits and soft plastics. Like metal, like the Vex. Is the Vex guy? Should we buy stop in Vex? With the white powder. I don't know what you're talking about. All that powder's gone, Travis. It didn't look great, but it smelled awesome. Would you agree, Josh? uh, Mark, Bobby, your sarcasm just punched me in the face. Taku was on the bass powder the other day. I could believe it. I could believe it. Gator, happy 4th. Tyler, I think the 3D pin we're going to win this year. Where did I read? I feel you can see your baits no matter what. You got to have your scope tuned right. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't dicked around with it enough. I mean, I feel like if you could, Josh, you might be able to comment. Is that do you need a jerk bait that provides a better return on forward facing, or are they fine as is? You know what would probably be popular right now are those damn true tungsten worms. Yep. They're a little bit True Tungsten was a little ahead of their time. Oh, Big Malone. Maybe Burns sent me something. Oh, it's how it'd be marketed. Yeah, I remember Scott Martin tried to market that. I don't know if they're still trying to sell it. That damn scope jelly. That was pretty pathetic. Um, so your worms show up better. No, you just need to learn how to tune your graph. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think any of that stuff. I mean, if you can see a damn crappie jig, you should be able to see any of that other shit. Gator, I believe he did his SB1 in a mid diver, like a 5 foot, 6 foot DT6 diver. Um, I believe that's what he told me. I can't remember. Sometimes he just waves his wand and says, "Trust the builder, dude." All right, builder dude, do builder dude stuff. Um, oh, that one isn't coming. Oh, never mind. You can see the wake. I would hope so. I would hope that thing shows up. Oh, that's right. I forgot about those. Sweet. I'm excited about that. BDS1, convenient. You must be a fortune teller, Burns, because you were building those before Skeet went on a BDS. Builder dudes build. What's my favorite bait I've painted this year? Um, hmm, hmm, good question. Great question. Um, maybe one of those camo ones. Maybe Josh's. That one's pretty good. Maybe Brian's. Um, I've done a lot. Um, done a lot of favorites. I guess it couldn't be my true favorite. Um, these are up there, although they're technically not painted. Josh's was sexy. Um, listening while installing my replacement. Yeah, how did you chop that? How did you chop that wire up? Did it get caught in your trolling motor mount? Oh yeah, that was some. There's been a lot. You're right, BBC. That was a good one. Um, check out that gill plate, South Jersey. I'll focus on my hand. Focus, you dick. There you go. Orca, like a killer whale. The pink one. Did I do a pink one? I did that. I did those burns. That was years ago. I think that was 2 years, 2 or 3 years ago. I did the Japan crawl. Um, I don't know. Good question, South J. I can't keep up. Like I might look at something in here and think, oh yeah, that one's probably my favorite I did this year. And then if I really like pinned it down, I did it like 3 years ago. I can't keep up. Unless I did it in the last like 2 months, it could be 3 years old in my brain. I lose track. Has the price spiked again on the original BDS Pro Tunes? I haven't seen it. I don't look though. Um, does anybody follow the BDS Pro Tune market? anybody a buyer of that? Let's look. Let's look at the comps, as they say. The Dream Pop was not your favorite, but Burns, I'm very grateful you pulled it off because it is indeed my favorite. Pro Tune BDS Lucky Craft. Stearman, I think it was the cup in the mouth that Burns really detested. I was lazy and had the cord routed sloppy and it pinched deploying. Sold. Oh yeah, you got fancy ones, Travis. You got fancy ones. BBC's got a soft spot in it because he caught a damn 9-pounder the first time he threw it. So Josh, what's the difference in the red package Pro Tune and the gray package? I have the gray package over here, but apparently online there's some red packaged Pro Tune. Here's a fat CB BDS2 summer crawl out of the pack that sold April 24th for $89.99. You got any of those? And then here's another one that sold for yeah, it doesn't look, well, I say that I didn't think the red packs meant shit. Well, here's a BDS2 Pro Tune in the red pack in tomato crawl that sold for $125. Didn't even send an offer. They had a best offer, didn't even send it. But then here's two Pro Tune BDS2s that are just like a vanilla color that sold for $45 for two of them. Here's two BDS3s out of the pack that sold for $10. So it's all over the place. About 400. Well, you might want to try sprinkling a few tomato crawls or summer crawls or any of these crawls into the market. Sounds like I should paint the summer crawl. If it's worth $125 to somebody, I think I can replicate this. It looks kind of like a purpley pinky belly and a kind of goldy side with a brown top. Never thrown that color a day in my life, but if it's worth $125 to somebody, must catch them real good. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything too crazy. BDS ones. I guess Lucky Craft reintroducing them kind of screwed that market up. There's some, no way, dude. Oh, it's the Fat CBMR. No, this is the SR. Somebody got, is this real? Or is this you pick a color? Wow. Somebody bought 4 of them of the Fat CBSRs. I don't know. I never used those. Um, for $17. That's a pretty good deal. Um, you know what was crazy was Simmons used to have baskets and baskets of the Protoon Fat CBSRs and MRs, and I would like I always looked at them. I was like, man, that's a badass looking bait. It's like a giant wiggle wart, and I never bought any, and they were dirt cheap. It was like buy one get one free or something. Like they couldn't get rid of them things. They're still selling them on eBay. Don't say that, Darius. Nothing can ever take the Roots' place. Hype them up, and then start sprinkling. It doesn't do you much good when you got hundreds of each color. You need to do more than sprinkling, but then you oversaturate the market and nobody cares. And if you don't do that, you end up selling BDSs to the point where they either go back up and it takes you 20 years. Sean, what's up, bro? Um, I don't know what the answer is. Thanks, Sean. It shows up a little better because I shaved this part yesterday. Amy sold one of the we had a life jacket and she sold it on Marketplace, like a child life jacket. And she put it on the porch and some girl was supposed to come pick it up. And I was out in the yard using my truck mirror to shave and shave my head. I didn't have a shirt on, and I was shaving in my truck mirror because I don't like to get the hair inside, so I shave outside in the grass. You know, shave and all the trimmings will just go in the grass, and my bathroom stays clean. So I was out there, and this girl pulls up in her car, and she gets out, and she says, she just walked up and looked at me and said, "Don't mind me, I'm just shaving." And she said, "I'm here to I'm here to pick up a life jacket." Yeah, so it's over there on the porch. She got out of there kind of fast. Said, "Have a good one." And she's like, "Bye." Kind of freaked her out, maybe. Um, yeah, she was probably like, "What did I just pull up to?" I've never, I've never been a fan of any of those multi-jointed crawfish-looking things. They've always kind of weirded me out. Anybody that's tried to do one. Phony had a really good-looking one, but like I said, it's too many moving parts for me. It could be done though. It certainly could be done in a classy way, not where it looks like a damn jigsaw puzzle. Yeah, because the I think the phony had it had the arms were detached and then it had a body and then it had something else. It was weird. I don't remember, but I remember it being a little busy. Um, Mickey, if you're listening, I'm sure he's already got one, Brendan. Last time I talked to him, he could drop new baits for the next 20 years and never have to build another bait at that point. That's how many like designs he had. Freddy the Frog, what happened to that thing? Was that a Weston? Who made that? My thing is, Brendan, where do you get the time? You know what I mean? Like if you're building baits, painting baits, running your business, how do you get the time to backlog that many baits that are like right? You know what I mean? I have like a crawl crank that I could grind on the bottom, not a floating crank. Sort of like, would it need to suspend or sink? The dude is a machine. I mean, I reckon he must be so efficient at prototyping and carving that it doesn't take that long. And like mold making, you know what I mean? Like to get even a prototype of something, like he must have a way of doing that from from idea to getting a like working prototype. He must be able to do that pretty quick. Bobby, I got a whole damn bunch of those, bro. Same shorts as yesterday. Don't chub up. New in pack. Dealer boxes. How many you need? It's the big one. It's the 2.5 incher. Mint. No, not a Nazca. It's a Aragon. It's the jointed one. I bought those a while back from someone for someone, and they haven't taken possession of them yet. Um, does all of Mickey's baits work right that he says this concept is? Um, I would bet they worked good enough that you could revisit them and tune like fine tune the design to be like right. He's probably got a ton of concepts that are like made into baits that haven't been like completely ready for production, but they're like good enough to almost be ready. If he needed to blast one out, he could probably take a week and tune it up. Oh no, sir, Burns. No, no, don't do that to me. JP, what the hell? Where you been hiding? JP hadn't seen the crack. Balsa crack. If you build it, Bobby will buy. He will blow his low wallet. Uh, I have painted a Burns uh, multi jointed crank, and there's a big issue with them. Uh, when I put them on these, they flop to the side. So then I have to put rubber bands in them to keep them upright, or I have to paint them like I do swim baits and hang them from either end. And there's just there's no great way to hold them. You know, that's funny, Scott. You say that. My dad, when I was first getting into like buying fishing lures, I think the first hard bait I ever owned from his recommendation was a Rapala jointed minnow. It was like it was probably like 4 inches long, and it was like the black back with kind of like goldy brown sides, and I don't know that I ever caught a bass on it. Still to this day, and it's probably over here in one of these boxes. I won't look right now, but maybe I should. It's somewhere. It's somewhere in this place. Like I said, don't think I ever caught anything. But I was informed that it was bass kryptonite. Marlin baits that are made from epoxy and have a skirt attached. And for fishing top water, I'll let them mix so fresh water can be patrolling with the bird. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'm in the ship working on the rest. I've got yard stuff and some stuff for everywhere. I got the builder dude spinner baits ready. I hear you. JP waited for it to get good and hot. So when he sprayed his paint, it come out it comes out of his gun like baking soda. You bought the jointed shadrach or the jointed minnows, Scott? Four-balled tomcat. What are you powder coating, BBC? AJ, funny you say that. My buddy called me and said he'd been doing it. He lives in North Alabama and he'd been working down here. His company kind of expanded and they were looking to get in different, like down into Florida and kind of South Alabama and kind of expand their reach down here. So they were going to open up an office down here. Well, he's been working down here a little bit. And he was like, Stanley? I said, what? He said, no. So I've been coming to Mobile a lot. I'm like, yeah. And he said, is it normal that it rains every day, like in the afternoon? Pretty much. He's like, it's hot and humid at home. And he's like, but that raining every day, he's like, it's miserable. I'm like, yeah. He said, we were thinking about moving down there. I said, well, he said, but after this summer, like so far, not happening. I said, yeah. But I don't. Yeah, it's not fun. It is not fun. AJ, I would love to go somewhere dry and paint. I bet it's. I bet it's fun. I bet it's immaculate. I would like. That's why I love painting in the wintertime so much because it's usually kind of dry and it's cold. So like, man, it's. I love it, but it's still pretty humid. But I'd like to go somewhere dry and paint. Yeah, go to Arizona. Somewhere in between though, where it's not so hot, like where you just have like nice mild weather that's dry. Dennis the Menace, yeah. Well, it gets hotter than hell out in Vegas. Um, Clear doesn't cure because it's too cold. It just sits there. I might have to get you some heaters, AJ. Do you do that? Do you put heaters on your baits? I've had to do that before when I needed stuff like done, which is kind of sketch when you blast a bunch of clear coat in a room and then stick heaters in there. But I have done that before. Line all your baits up and then put heaters on the floor and don't want to blow up. You're not gonna blow up, AJ. I haven't blown up yet. I've done some pretty dumb shit. Uh, Humidity, yeah, I think some pretty decent humidity in Arkansas. Burns, I don't. That's one of the few I don't have. I don't think in my collection of Burns's, I don't have one of his jointed ones. And you know what? I'm really not missing out. I don't think. I was thinking I might have one here, but I don't. Josh, what do you do though? Like your exhaust pulls so much air, like you would have to dehumidify Earth. Like you would need you would need like a bubble over your whole property, and then like I don't understand how like how do paint booths do it? Do they all the air that's like a pro paint booth? Do they does it does it do they have dehumidifiers that can dehumidify instantly that much volume of air? Marty, how do those look in the water? I never saw one swim. I would like to talk to a mechanical contractor to see how that works. What, dehumidifying large volumes of air instantly? Staticky when it gets too dry. Hmm. My wife bought me one of the coolers with a fan in it, like Foxworthy promoted. Myself, I laughed and thought she passed away good money. And the fact that I realized had an outlet blowing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know, Travis. I've never dug into how $100,000 paint booth works. But I mean, people paint cars down here, and I'd like to know what percent humidity it is inside of a paint booth when they're painting a car in July and it's raining outside. Maybe this recirculated air could be, but where's it coming from? You know what I mean? Inside the booth. I don't know. Like I said, I don't. Somebody's figured it out, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know how that would work. Yo, what's up, Clay? See, the good old boys are painting outside, doing body with no booth, just in the yard. Oh yeah. Best paint booths are positive airflow and humidity doesn't affect single stage paint as much. Interesting. Interesting. I guess you've got all your shit set up just right. But like, for example, prior Winter Haven, Florida, painting all those baits that Bagley painted. I mean, in the summertime, were they painting at night? Did they have like a night shift to help with the paint? Because there's no, I wouldn't think that their shop was adequately set up to have like, the proper humidity and all that. What is the highest level of swamp ass that can be acquired? The high class? I didn't. Is that you, Clay? Are you pumping your own page? The China waterfall is pretty cool, where they don't have ventilation. They just spray into a waterfall and it catches all the overspray, and then it just circulates and they just continuously spray into water. It's pretty cool. But I would think that air would be kind of dry if it's not. I guess at some point it depends on if it's not evaporating and it's not splashing and like, I would think if you had a pretty controlled water flow at a good 75 degrees, 70 degrees, to where your water isn't evaporating rapidly, you could control that humidity pretty decently. Hoochie Daddy shorts. What that pee-pee do? It pees and it's little. What am I looking up? Bassmaster memes. High class Bassmaster memes. Counting down the days till ICAST when Patrick Walters drops his signature line of Hoochie Daddy fishing shorts. He could bring that inseam up a little bit. He could probably take it at least an inch and a half up. Oh, listen to it. Did they use it? PP do.
It's all made the mistake of wearing my brand new Hoochie Daddy shorts today, and I've been catcalled 17 times. Like, hey boy, what that pee-pee do? I don't know. It pees. It's small. Made the mistake of wearing my brand new Hoochie Daddy shorts today, and I've been catcalled 17 times. Like, hey boy, what that pee-pee do? I don't know. It pees. It's small.
What if I saw Patrick Walters at an Elite Series event and I had my shirt tucked in and I had the Hoochie Daddy shorts on? You think he'd see him and be like, where'd you get those shorts, bro? I thought you did it. You thought I was the high class bass memes. Not me. Not me. Got these hook shorts with mesh in the ass gooch region. They are great. Sounds nice. Do I have a man's shallow Razorback? I do not own a Razorback. They're always too ugly. I couldn't even find, I can find beauty in a lot of ugly shit, but the man's Razorback was not one of those that I ever thought I needed to own. No, they were too ugly for me. Razorbacks were hideous, just like 98% of the other man's baits. Caught a ton on it. How about that? I'll tell you, I take it back. I take it back. The lipless Razorback, I believe it was, looked cool. It was a good looking lipless. I almost bought one not too long ago at a yard sale. I saw it and I was like, damn, that looks pretty good. But the rest of that shit, I don't know. I mean, I like the look of the big one minus the little minus ones, the babies, and the big one looks pretty cool. Um, but good news, I figured out how to do a wedding registry at a Websternaut store. That's awesome. Frenzy mine back in the day looked like Razorbacks. They probably were. The frenzy baits were pretty dumb looking, but they held true to Berkeley's hard bait line all being hideously ugly as well. They've continued that trend all the way into 2024 to where they can make make an effective fish catching bait that is obscenely dumb looking. Darius, you've been snagging up any deals on Whatnot? I need to get on the. I need to unload on some Whatnot. Look at the picture. Uh-oh. Well, hell, that's not that expensive. That's pretty cheap. Does it require ventilation, I wonder? Maybe, I guess. What's the chute up at the top? Hmm. If you buy two, you get a deal. Anybody want a water curtain? I don't know how. I mean, I'm basically spraying. I'm basically painting inside of a waterfall as it is. I don't think it would make it worse. You know what I mean? I mean, humidity is already through the roof. You might as well just embrace it. I mean, it's not that bad of an idea, dude. What is? I wonder if it smells though. Like if you're spraying, like if you're clear coating into water, if it just like neutralizes all of that. I don't know. You get the jawjackers, Bobby? I got stunked at Belton this morning. Only ramps were up the river and never seen that portion of the lake. Oh well, you got to go. Yeah, the Frenzy, their little Shad Rap had a cult following. People love the Shad Rap Frenzy. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I like if you watch anybody in China or Japan or anywhere paint, like they're not wearing masks. Like they're doing something to where, like, obviously, if you've got 20 people painting baits and blasting stinky stuff into the air, they're doing something to where it doesn't stink, and that shit's getting out of their range. Um, the only way to fight humidity is more humidity. That's what I'm saying. You just embrace it. They're disposable, probably. I did see Josh. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was Hideki posted a video of the Teckle, whatever his frog is, the whacker, and he showed a video of where they were being painted in China, and it looked like this like old like sewer rat was sitting on the ground in like a gutter with like a Gatorade bottle full of paint and a bunch of frogs stuck on sticks, and the dude was blasting them, and it looked like a like broken down like chimney on the ground, and the dude was just blasting frogs, and I was like, this is the nastiest looking place I've ever seen in my life. But some of those places you see there, they look like a medical facility, but that was certainly not one of them. Yeah, no clothes. Like, dude had a pair of shorts on, no shirt or shoes, and he was just sitting on the ground, like on a damn like big pillow. It was pretty gnarly. Still going. But I wish I could find that video or that picture where it was. It was pretty impressive. Oh, I gotta go get some. I gotta get some stuff. I gotta pack, dudes. I'm going fishing tomorrow, or I'm going to a place where fish live, and there will be a boat there. I'm not pulling my boat because I think my trailer's about to break in half. So that'll be the next project. Get somebody to chop my trailer up. And I have a good friend that actually builds custom badass trailers. And he's like, "Why don't you let me build you a trailer?" It's like, I don't want to build a new trailer. I don't want to pay you $4,000 for a new trailer. I just want you to cut this section of tubing out and put me another one in there. And he said, "Well, I won't do that because I don't know what the level of rot is in the rest of the trailer." And I said, "Well, when it starts cracking and I can see through it, then we'll address that section." Pay the 4K, probably. But I don't have 4K to drop on a stupid ass boat trailer. I just need that one little section fixed. Yeah, that's what I don't know why they make all those Triton trailers out of tube steel instead of C channel, and it holds water and they all rot. Did you have to have that done, Clay? Kyle probably will. Well, Brendan, if I sold the wall, then what would y'all look at? People saw the places kids' toys get made and the people handling them. They probably wouldn't let them hold them, or definitely not put them in baby's mouth. Probably right about that. So all those moms and dads out there that when they get a toy, they say, let's watch this. They're not crazy. A Tacklecraft banner. That'd be pretty sweet. I've ridden and unloaded it several times, and I've chopped it up and bought it in the speeder trailer with the same bin on it. There you go. Scope or die. Ah, man. It's becoming more true by the minute. Who would have thought? Get a cheap welder from Harbor Freight and weld your trailer yourself. Kyle, we have lots of welding machines here. Problem is, I don't know how to use any of them. I can turn them on, but I don't know what to do with them. We got wire welders, we got stick welders, we got all kinds of stuff. Like I said, I don't know what goes to what. That's what I was wondering, Clay. Maybe I could ask the dude how much for just the frame, and then transfer my axles and hubs and all that shit over, and lights and like all that shit where you didn't have to buy everything brand new and just use all that stuff from my trailer. Because I don't need it to travel like 100,000 miles. Like I don't drive that far. I just need it to go like 20 miles every other month. Is buying expensive baits out of spite? You mean so other people don't have them? No. All right. Let me get out of here. I got to go get stuff. I got to get packed. I got to pack up baits. And if you ordered baits yesterday, I'm going to wait till after I get back to mail them. Unless you really need them. I don't like shipping on holidays. So for the safety of the baits, I personally would prefer to wait. If the buttons are about to blow off your cargo shorts to get these things, I can mail them. But I would prefer to wait till after the holiday, because that's when shit happens. Bad things. Could, Jim. Definitely could. There's a guy right up the street, actually. I have to get my boat off the trailer. I have to go dump it somewhere. But yeah, there's a dude right up the road. A bunch of people use. And AJ's putting out a PSA. Make sure your PayPal address is correct. Wire is the easiest stick. Reverse polarity if you go that way. 332, 610 rods. Burn around 90 amps. Dude, we got sticks out there. We got all the stuff. Like I said, I just don't know how to run any of that stuff. It's funny when my dad, he fired up this big ass, I think it's like a Lincoln. It's like a generator, like big giant one. He had that thing fired up. He was out there and he was about to weld something on his trailer. He was putting fenders on his trailer and he was going to weld them on. I said, "You know what you're doing?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." Dude, it looked like hammered dog shit. He was over there just like poking the rod, and trying to dial whatever in, and whatever it was wasn't working. And so you might need to take that to somebody. It's like, you think? It's like, yeah, that's terrible. But water has 300, and I used a wire feed. That's what he said, Gator. He said, I'll grind it down. It'll look fine. Damp rods, as in from living in high humidity, that's certainly a possibility. I didn't know that was a thing. Come on by, Kyle. You can swing in the back, and we'll try and decipher what this shit is and how to use it. Clay, that's what I always said. If I could go back, I would probably go back and like maybe not go to school. Maybe when I got out of school, uh, get certified to weld. I think it would have been fun. Seems like something I'd be into. I like the precision of it. I never understood how the only part about welding that bothered me is looking through those hoods, starting your weld when there's no arc. How do you see like where you're gonna start? You just kind of like get close and then put your hood down and hot rod box after opening down here in the south. How about that? Didn't know that. Ours are just like sitting in a damn coffee can like. You put it where you want it and close the hood and touch. There you go. Yeah, it's just like dumb stuff like that that I don't know about welding. Now they have auto darkening. That's kind of cool. I could get into that. That's probably an expensive hood though. I have to get me one of those. I have to get me one of those little hats they all wear. Josh, be careful. Have fun. I'll be at Miller's Ferry. Probably not ripping on them, but we'll see. All right, everybody. Y'all have a safe fourth. Have fun. We'll talk when I get back. If you need your baits shipped out, tell me and I'll ship them. It's risky though. $100 isn't bad. Yeah, I'd like to try it, Clay. I'd like to try it. All right, dudes. See y'all.